Okay, hey everybody, Sator here. This is like my third take of trying to make a video because I'm at my fiance's house and there's so many distractions. Um, Today I'm going to talk about the movie that I watched earlier called Esoteric Agenda. Um, if you want to see truth, you watch that video. Like, I've seen other videos like Zeitgeist and Loose Change and, just stuff like that, but like this one really hit home. It talks about how why this is happening, you know what I mean, what you can do to prevent it, like to keep yourself safe, for the upcoming events in the world. I'm actually what really scared me. There was a quote, I can't really directly say it because I don't know exactly what it was, but it said if you control somebody's food supply, you control the world. And that's what really got to me the most. Hold on, I actually have I took like three notes. This was actually on fluoride, and it said 66% of the U.S. water supplies are currently fluoridated with industrial toxic waste. 66%. And it says 98% of Western Europe has rejected water fluoridation, but the children's teeth in the US compared to their, like, they're both like rotting away, you know what I mean, white. Like, have you ever seen a child, like, look at your child's teeth, or if you use like normal toothpaste and you see their teeth and how they're really white as a child? That's just not the way it should be. Like, your children's teeth should not, just shouldn't be, you know what I mean, white like that, like really super white. Like, and you know how like there's toothpaste and on the toothpaste bottle it says warning, do not swallow, and do not ingest, and yeah, it's going to say some other ingredients, but fluoride honestly does nothing but rot your brain. It causes cancer, it causes fibromyalgia, you know what I mean, it just it's absolutely terrible. And why do you think they're putting it in your water? You know what I mean, like, why do you think they're doing this to you? And that's what Esoteric Agenda really like puts to the table, is why this is going on. It really got to me, you know what I mean, like they care less about us. We are sheep to them, you know what I mean. We're sheep, that's it, and it's sad because, like, I'm also reading a book called My God, What's Happening to Us by Lynn something or other. I don't have the book with me right now, so I couldn't really tell you, but it says how there's always been a battle of good and evil. You know what I mean? Like, and that goes with all religions. Um, there has always been a battle of good and evil, and basically, like, if you're feeling down, you know, like, if you're feeling something like your doctor can't cure, or your doctor can't find in you, it could possibly be an entity, like a bad entity taking over your energy. Like, in the book, it explains about how before you were born, you signed a contract, okay, and you might have been manipulated into signing that contract. Like, for example, okay, light workers, indigo children, crystal children, like you and I, or whoever's watching this, like, I'm an indigo, and I do believe I'm a starseed. Actually, no, but whatever you are, we signed a contract. Well, this is what the book says, and I'm just relaying a message. I want you guys to read it. Like, I'll get the full whatever and put it in the link. But it said before you were born, like, let's say light workers, crystal children, blah blah blah, like us, we had some good in us before we came onto this earth, that we signed a contract, and we might have been manipulated. We signed the contract to come on earth and help other people. Like, it could have been like, you signed the contract to be a very powerful human being, or you signed a contract to be poor, but your fate was to help somebody else in getting blah blah blah. But you get what I'm saying. Point being is, a lot of people were manipulated, like, by bad entities who pretended to be good. Like, you probably, like with the battle of like Satan and God, like, they could have pretended to be on God's side and made you sign a contract. Like, so let's say you signed a contract that said, at one point in your life, we are going to take a very microscopic piece of your brain and use it as, like, to form a microchip in the fifth dimension. Like, it said stuff like, you could have signed a contract that says we are allowed to take you and clone you, which is completely and absolutely just terrible. like it also mentioned, how the human race is literally perfect. It's perfected, which if you look at it, how I said in my other videos, we really are perfect. You know what I mean? We're absolutely perfect in our own way. Like there's no, I guess, species that can fully be in the present moment like we are. You know what I mean? So it's just, and they want that. So that's what they're doing. They're manipulating us. So like if you've ever woken up and you're feeling tired, like absolutely just ridiculously tired, like just depressed, and you don't know what it is. If you're taking pills, if they're not working for you, like the book says, like to just find a spiritual guide. Like don't always listen to your guides, because they also could be entities manipulating you to do certain things, and that's not right. But then again, you could have signed the contract for that. I mean, I'm not saying this is all like truth. I'm just relaying what the book says, and it makes sense to me, so I'm gonna follow that belief as far as that goes. I mean, until I do a little bit more research. So go get checked out, like, if you're feeling that. I honestly, I tell my fiance sometimes, whenever, like, during sexual intercourse, I genuinely, and he probably thinks I'm crazy, but I say, I really think that somebody has been taking my sexual energy since I was a little girl. Like, I mean, obviously I wasn't doing anything when I was little, but, you know, I have a very hard time, and I know it's like, from my past and everything, but I have a very, 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 very hard time, when it comes to sexual energy, like, even with myself, I'm sure you understand, like, I really can't I can't get there like I used to. And I don't know what happened. I don't have anything wrong down there at all. Like, I've been tested in all aspects. Like, I'm completely clean. I don't. So, I don't understand what it is. And I always tell my fiance that I think an entity's been taking my sexual energy for their own. And, I mean, it's believable with the battle of good and evil. I mean, and how I was talking about earlier with the esoteric agenda, like, and we're sheep, basically. Like, you don't know what's in your food. You really don't. Just because there's ingredients on the back of food doesn't mean that it's actually, like, that's all of them. I read this thing a while ago that the FDA, in this book called Skinny Bitch, I'm sure you've heard of it, but it said the FDA literally only has to put like 80% of ingredients on the box or on the labels, while the other 20% you have no fucking idea what's in it. Like Coke, for example, that Diet Coke, they get the taste from Diet Coke with aborted fetus cells. You don't believe me? Do your research. Like, it's everywhere. They take aborted fetuses' cells and use them for flavor manipulation in Diet Coke. That's just one example of millions of the things that they put in your food. Like, okay, like, would you know that Velveeta cheese actually has meat in it? Where? It's cheese. It's just bacteria. It's like, no, there's actual meat, like different kinds of meat put in there. You know, I don't know how they, like, somebody else pronounced it different, but aspartame. Is it aspartame?
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
All right, aspartame, it causes brain cancers. It's used in a lot of sweeteners. Um, you know, just I use Crystal Light packets. I love that stuff. I love Crystal Light, and I use those packets, but I know that there's aspartame in it, and I do feel like, although I tell you that I have very, very high vibration. I give off very, like, good energy. I feel, very good frequencies. I feel I'm very cleared in certain aspects. As far as food goes, my body physically is absolutely terrible. I wake up feeling terrible every morning. And it is from what you eat. Like, eating affects how you feel every day. And I feel absolutely terrible every morning when I wake up. I mean, spiritually, I do feel that I'm on the right path, but physically, it's shit. And we were born as a perfect species to feel good. You know what I mean? Our bodies and our molecular structures are perfect, and we are born perfect, no matter what. Like, even like a disabled or retarded child, they're perfect too. Everyone's perfect in their way, and I guess that's where the bad and good species comes in. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, like, honestly, if I could go raw, I would. I mean, my fiance and I, we take as much advantage of the government as we can. Like, I'm not afraid to say it. You want to call me a welfare, like, non-working citizen, that's fine. That's your opinion. I honestly just believe that you're angry because you work so many hours a day, and you're angry at us for taking food stamps and taking welfare and everything, but, like, they're the ones making you work. It's not our problem. It's their problem. So don't blame us. Blame them. Like, you know how I'm sure you know how that goes, with the whole non-job, like, welfare taking, blah 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 blah. Like, we're the terrible ones. Like, no, absolutely not. It's actually the government's fault. I mean, so we're gonna take as much advantage. But anyway, to the point. Um, yeah, like, we don't even have enough money to go raw. Being raw is so expensive these days, and it's not like the people who are raw, like, or who, like, grow raw foods, it's not their fault. It's the government's fault, because, like, it's so hard to find, like, raw, natural, organic foods without pesticides and chemtrails sprayed over them. It's sickening. And I feel bad. Like, all of our food literally is toxified. Look up the facts. Like, it is genuinely, like, there's no food on the markets these days. You walk into a Walmart, you see things that say FDA organic. No. They just put it there. I guarantee you're still eating something with absolutely just something terrible or toxic in it. You know what I mean? There's nothing, if the FDA says it's organic, it's not. Just try to go to your local flea markets, you know what I mean? Like, try to find trusted sellers, and it is hard these days. Like, in a town like where I am, I eat crappy for a reason. Let's just say that. You know what I mean? There's no way that we can absolutely go completely raw where my fiance and I are. Even if we had, like, some amazing, job that paid very well, it's still expensive. You know what I mean? So the ones who eat raw, like, blessed you, be thankful, because I know the way that good eating makes your body feel. I used to eat organic. I really used to eat pure organic, like organic tea. I used to detoxify. I used to, like, do self-healing with teas and herbs and everything, and it was amazing for the time that I had it. And I remember waking up and I'd feel like I was literally floating, because that's how the body should feel. You know what I mean? But like I said, watch Esoteric Agenda and you will understand why they're doing this to you. You know what I mean? All I really did this video for today was to say, as a person who really doesn't like to watch, like, movies and just things if they're not very, like, juicy with, like, a lot of good information, then I won't watch it. So this movie right here it's amazing. So watch it if you really want to know, like, good truth. But yeah, so that's really it. I mean, the point of this, like I said, was that, and just to tell you, we're pretty much on the road to fucked. So do your research, and there are many ways to prevent it, which I will get into in another video. Just tonight I'm pretty scattered, so, and I'm at my fiance's, so, like, I just thought I'd sit and blab on camera, and, so. But yeah, Namaste, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions or for videos in the future or questions, leave them in the comment box below. I have my YouTube link to my Facebook, so feel free to message. I always respond. As far as negativity goes, like I said, I do not accept positive frequencies. I have a very strong Merkaba field, so they will just come back on tenfold to you. So, have a great night, everybody. It's supposed to snow here, so I'm not real happy about that. But yeah, bye.